All the lies about the British royal family, all the racism claims, all the desperate desire to bring down the British monarchy was all for this? For this?
Picture this. What you're about to discover will completely change how you see celebrity culture, influence, and what happens when someone mistakes royal prestige for Hollywood power. Because while most people were focused on Meghan's latest lifestyle brand launch, they missed the real story unfolding behind the scenes.
Meghan Markle overnight finally joined the Kardashian club. And I feel really sad about it. For all my girls, starting with Kay, she posted, and we know she's looked up to Khloe and Kim and Kourtney for some years.
A story that involves luxury gift baskets, calculated PR moves, and one of the most humiliating non-responses in recent celebrity history. Let's be brutally honest about something. Meghan Markle had everything. Not just wealth or fame, but the kind of global platform that takes decades to build. She could have shaped conversations about mental health, racial justice, or women's rights on an international scale.
Surprising, given those three actually work really hard, unlike her. But it's just quite pathetic, isn't it, that this is now the highlight of Meghan Markle's world. A woman who, quite literally,
She had direct access to heads of state, philanthropic powerhouses, and the most influential institutions on Earth. Instead, she is now competing with Instagram influencers for attention. And losing. Her lifestyle brand launch should have been a masterclass in leveraging existing influence. The initial rollout seemed promising. Sleek packaging, premium positioning, and that scarcity marketing everyone's obsessed with these days.
given the opportunity by the late Queen Elizabeth II to change the world, now has her world changed?
But here's what the mainstream media won't tell you. The second wave of products barely moved half their inventory. That's not just disappointing. In the lifestyle branding world, that's catastrophic. When your follow-up performance tanks, it sends a clear message to the industry. The novelty has worn off. People tried your product out of curiosity, not conviction. And without conviction, there's no repeat customers. Without repeat customers, there's no sustainable business. This is where most celebrity brands quietly fade away.
Because the least known, the least popular, the nastiest of the Kardashian sisters decides to post a hamper of dodgy as-ever goodies.
But Meghan had a different plan. Here's something you need to understand about modern celebrity culture. Influence isn't inherited. It's earned daily. And the Kardashians have been earning it every single day for over a decade. With their combined social media reach exceeding 1 billion followers, they've become the ultimate validation machine. One enthusiastic post from any Kardashian can transform an unknown product into a sold-out sensation overnight. This isn't marketing hyperbole, it's documented fact.
On this. So Khloe Kardashian posted this on her Instagram stories today on Kylie Jenner's birthday.
The Kardashian effect has generated hundreds of millions in sales for brands lucky enough to catch their attention. Meghan's team knew this, so they crafted what they thought was the perfect strategy. The plan was simple, but calculated. Send meticulously curated gift baskets to each member of the Kardashian-Jenner family. These weren't casual gifts thrown together by an intern.
Did not tag as ever or Meghan Markle. This is my theory. Tonight, Kendall Jenner hosted Kylie's family party. Meghan sent all the Kardashians press boxes hoping they would share it.
Every detail was engineered for maximum Instagram potential. Premium packaging that photographed beautifully. Products arranged with magazine-worthy precision. Color schemes that would pop on social media feeds. This wasn't generosity. This was a marketing campaign disguised as gift-giving. The psychology was sound.
Happened. Someone from the family re-gifted the as-ever crap. Khloe then took a pic of it. Meghan sees this hours later and jumps at the chance to be connected to a Kardashian. Here's the problem.
Celebrity gifting has become a billion-dollar industry, precisely because it works. When done correctly, it creates organic-feeling content that drives massive sales. The key phrase being, when done correctly. But here's where Meghan's royal background may have actually worked against her. In royal circles, gestures like this carry weight because of institutional respect and protocol. In Hollywood, respect is earned through results, not titles.
Khloe posting this, probably by mistake, is going to take away from Kylie's party and all the stuff Kendall is currently trying to merch on her Instagram. She added, Meghan gives Khloe Kardashian.
The Kardashians receive dozens of PR packages daily from brands desperate for their endorsement. Most end up forgotten in storage rooms or regifted to assistants. To stand out, you need more than luxury packaging. You need to offer something they genuinely want to be associated with. What happened next reveals everything you need to know about Hollywood hierarchies. Nothing. No unboxing videos. No grateful Instagram stories. No product tags or brand mentions.
Basket after Khloe calls herself an N-word lover and Kim is concerned over her baby's skin.
The silence from the Kardashian camp was deafening, and in the influencer economy, silence isn't neutral. It's rejection. The only hint that Meghan's gifts even reached their intended targets was a single Instagram story from Khloe Kardashian. And here's where the situation goes from disappointing to genuinely painful. The story featured what appeared to be items from Meghan's gift basket, casually arranged among other products. But there was no tag, no brand mention, no acknowledgement of who sent them.
But it's the royal family that's racist. Brittany, editor of the Royal News Network, joins me now.
To millions of Khloe's followers, these were just random items in a typical Sunday haul post. For Meghan, this was worse than being ignored entirely. You see, getting featured in someone's content without credit is the social media equivalent of being talked about at a party where no one remembers your name. You're present, but you're invisible. Your products are there, but your brand might as well not exist.
We just take a look at it from a macro level now. The fact that this was a woman who could have had world leaders.
And here's the thing that makes this particularly brutal. Khloe Kardashian didn't forget to tag by accident. The Kardashians have built their empire on strategic social media use. Every post is calculated. Every tag is intentional. Every brand mention is either paid for or personally endorsed. The absence of Meghan's tag wasn't an oversight. It was a choice. Now, here's where industry insiders started connecting some uncomfortable dots.
Kend is made by an Instagram story from a Kardashian sister who doesn't even bother to tag her. How the mighty have fallen.
There's a theory floating around Hollywood circles that's almost too humiliating to consider, but the evidence keeps pointing in this direction. What if Khloe never received that gift basket directly from Meghan? Think about it. The Kardashians are drowning in PR packages. Kylie alone probably receives 50 packages a week from brands trying to get her attention. Most celebrities have systems for dealing with this overflow. They redistribute items to family members, assistants, or friends.
Because Meghan, like you said, she was going to interact with royalty. Her and Harry probably would have taken over the role of Sophie and Edward, going to all the big events held in other countries, the weddings, the birthdays, where there's tiara events and everything.
The theory suggests that Meghan's carefully crafted gift basket, intended specifically for one of the main Kardashian sisters, got passed along the family chain like a regifted Christmas present. By the time it reached Khloe, it had lost all context and significance. This would explain the casual, disconnected way it appeared in her story.
Meghan's really where she was always looking, which was not royalty, it was not being an actual influencer in the world. She really just wants to be a Kardashian.
No excitement, no personal connection, no understanding of who sent it or why. Just another random item in an endless stream of free products. If this theory is correct, it means Meghan's strategic PR move never even reached its intended target. Her luxury gift basket became the social media equivalent of a hand-me-down, stripped of its meaning and reduced to filler content.
Level, and that has always been her level. This idea that she's some brilliant woman who married into the royal family and, they were just too, basically what she always said was too dumb for her.
The optics couldn't be worse. Picture the chain of events. Meghan invests time, money, and her brand's reputation into a carefully orchestrated gesture. The recipient opens it, shrugs, and hands it off to whoever's nearby. That person eventually posts it online without context, turning Meghan's strategic move into an anonymous product placement.
And she was going to achieve these great things. No. Meghan is always the one who has been shallow, vain, and vapid. And I think she proves that via this Instagram post.
This isn't just a failed PR attempt. It's a public demonstration of exactly where Meghan stands in the Hollywood food chain. But here's where this story takes a darker turn that reveals something troubling about celebrity culture and moral flexibility. Remember Meghan's Oprah interview? The moment that captivated the world when she spoke about experiencing racism within the royal family?
She makes the point that actually, if you are going to ally yourself with this family, is there not a bit of hypocrisy?
Her powerful words about standing up to institutional prejudice and refusing to accept unacceptable behavior, regardless of how powerful the institution? That Meghan positioned herself as someone who calls out problematic behavior no matter the cost. Someone who chooses principles over convenience, justice over acceptance. Fast forward to today, and she's actively courting the Kardashians, a family with their own extensive history of cultural appropriation controversies, racially insensitive incidents, and business practices that many consider exploitative.
The previous comments that they've made about, for example, the skin tone of their baby's skin. Now, I'm actually not calling the Kardashians out for that. I think they were having an honest conversation, but
This isn't about holding the Kardashians accountable for every controversy. That's a separate conversation. This is about the jarring disconnect between Meghan's stated principles and her current actions. If you've built your post-royal brand on speaking truth to power and refusing to compromise your values, why are you desperately seeking validation from people whose values seem fundamentally different from your own? The answer is uncomfortable but obvious.
of this woman in terms of her hatred for the royal family compared to how she will excuse anything from the Kardashian clan.
Hollywood relevance trumps personal principles. When your lifestyle brand is struggling and your cultural influence is waning, suddenly those moral lines become more flexible. The same person who rejected the royal family for being cold and calculating is now throwing herself at the mercy of an equally calculating celebrity dynasty.
Yes, because she wants the Kardashians' attention. She doesn't really care about the royal family. And you have to think about the time when Meghan Markle made those allegations. It was at the height of BLM, and she really...
The Kardashians aren't known for warmth or loyalty to outsiders. They're known for protecting their brand at all costs and making strategic decisions based on benefit analysis. If Meghan thought she'd find authentic friendship or genuine support in this circle, she fundamentally misunderstood how Hollywood power structures work. Here's something that might shock you. The Kardashians actually work relentlessly.
Sort of the reaction to the protests and everything to sort of try to shield herself as a victim. And what's happened over the several years since...
Say whatever you want about their fame origins or their cultural impact, but behind the glamorous Instagram feeds is a machine that never stops. 6 a.m. photo shoots, midnight product meetings, constant content creation, strategic appearances, business development. They live and breathe their brands 24 hours a day. Kim Kardashian didn't accidentally build a billion-dollar shapewear company. Kylie didn't stumble into cosmetic success.
Really, truly is, and it has never been about this alleged racism narrative. No. She just wanted to leave the royal family because she desperately wanted to be a Kardashian.
These achievements required years of grinding, testing, failing, adapting, and pushing forward when easier options were available. Now compare that to Meghan's approach to brand building. Instead of consistent, daily hustle, Meghan seems to prefer big splash moments designed for maximum immediate impact. Limited releases with artificial scarcity.
Hard, and Meghan Markle neither has talent nor a good work ethic. And so this whole idea that she was going to come to Hollywood and achieve the great things she couldn't on her own was always going to be a fool's errand.
Disappearing from public view for months, then expecting the same enthusiasm when she resurfaces. Relying on her royal title and past fame to do the heavy lifting instead of proving her current value. This is exactly why the Kardashian gift basket strategy feels so tone-deaf. Meghan tried to skip the line. She wanted the credibility and exposure that comes from years of relationship building, but without putting in the actual work.
I'm not selling out.
But the thing is, Brittany, look, I don't mind the Kardashians. I used to interview some of them.
In the Kardashian universe, relationships are business assets earned through mutual benefit and proven results. They don't hand out endorsements as charity. They don't boost brands out of sympathy. Every partnership needs to elevate their empire or it doesn't happen. Meghan hasn't demonstrated that she can drive serious sales, create viral content, or maintain consistent audience engagement. Her brand launches generate initial curiosity, but lack the staying power that creates long-term value.
And Chris specifically. And what I would say about them is I love the fact that they are grafters. And
the silence from the Kardashians isn't personal rejection, it's business assessment. And the assessment is clear. She hasn't earned her place at their table. Let's talk about that moment when Meghan's entire PR strategy came crashing down in the most public way possible. Picture being someone who once commanded global headlines, whose every outfit choice was analyzed by fashion experts, whose opinions carried weight in international conversations.
That how they came to fame was not desirable. Chris leaking a sex tape of her own daughter with Ray J. Gross.
Now picture your biggest victory of the week, being a blurry, uncredited appearance in someone else's Instagram story. That's where Meghan found herself celebrating. According to industry sources, when Khloe's story went live featuring items that appeared to be from Meghan's gift basket, there was genuine excitement in Meghan's camp. Finally, some recognition from the Kardashian empire. Finally, proof that her strategy was working. Except, it wasn't recognition at all.
Single minute of the day to achieve what they have achieved. They are really living the American dream. I would say they are grafters.
The items appeared among dozens of other products in what looked like a typical influencer haul. No special placement, no enthusiastic commentary, no indication that these products meant anything more than the random PR samples that fill celebrity homes. For someone who once stood on the balcony of Buckingham Palace beside the Queen, this should have felt like a devastating come down. Instead, by all accounts, it was treated as a win.
Never really wanted to do that, and that's why we always see her taking shortcuts through PR and now through these scarcity tactics with her brand. She's not actually really wanting to achieve real success. She's always...
This reveals something profoundly sad about how far expectations have fallen. When getting properly ignored by a reality TV star becomes cause for celebration, you're no longer operating from a position of strength. The brutal truth about influencer culture is that without a tag, without a mention, without deliberate promotion, your products might as well be invisible.
A long time, they were not taken seriously in the entertainment industry at all. They were a bit of pariahs as they were kind of growing this huge following.
Khloe's millions of followers saw those items and had no way to connect them to Meghan or her brand. No traffic was driven, no sales were generated, no awareness was built. It was the digital equivalent of being in the room but not being introduced. Let's break down exactly what this failed strategy cost Meghan, because the numbers tell a story that goes beyond just financial investment. High-end gift baskets for the entire Kardashian family likely cost thousands of dollars. But that's just the surface expense.
They're really it now, and now they're all part of the elite A-list, really, in the entertainment industry. The Kardashians are.
The real cost was the time, planning, and brand equity invested in what was essentially a very expensive Hail Mary pass. When celebrities send strategic gifts, they're not just spending money, they're spending reputation. Every calculated gesture that doesn't pay off makes future attempts less likely to succeed. It creates a narrative of desperation that's almost impossible to reverse. In Hollywood, perception drives reality.
The message, which is that yes, having a title is somewhat impressive in Hollywood. Not a lot of people have that, but
if you're seen as someone who needs validation from others, you become less valuable in the eyes of potential collaborators. It's a vicious cycle where each failed attempt to boost your profile actually damages it further. The Kardashians understand this psychology perfectly. That's why their partnerships always appear mutual and beneficial. They don't endorse products that make them look desperate for association. They choose brands that enhance their status, not compromise it.
Following and the level of influence that the Kardashians have, and that is not just a product of happenstance, that was as a result.
Meghan's gift basket strategy violated this fundamental rule. Instead of approaching from a position of strength, offering something valuable in exchange for recognition, she appeared to be begging for scraps from a more powerful table. The economics are simple. She needed them far more than they needed her. And in Hollywood, that kind of imbalance is fatal to effective partnerships.
Closer to 2 decades of really, really, really hard work and being professional.
Here's something interesting about Meghan's brand strategy that most people missed. She borrowed the scarcity playbook from successful luxury brands, but forgot the most important part. Scarcity only works when there's genuine demand underlying it. When people actually want what you're offering, limited availability creates urgency and drives sales.
I've heard that the Kardashians are wonderful interviews. They give you very good attention, and they have seen the great results of that. And Meghan Markle just can't do any of that. And she's also...
But when demand is artificial or inflated, scarcity becomes a transparent marketing gimmick that consumers see right through. Meghan's initial product drop did sell out quickly, which created the illusion of massive demand. But here's what happened behind the scenes. The inventory was intentionally small to guarantee a sellout. This is a common tactic among celebrity brands looking to create buzz. The problem came with the second release.
Authentic. And the Kardashians, like them or hate them, I think they do have a pretty good authenticity chip there.
Confident in their success, they tripled the inventory expecting similar results. Instead, they learned the harsh truth about their actual market size. The initial sales were driven by curiosity and novelty, not genuine product love or brand loyalty. When the Kardashians launch products, they sell out because millions of people genuinely want what they're offering. Their customers come back repeatedly because the products deliver on their promises. There's real demand supporting the scarcity.
Brittany, what we constantly get from Team Meghan Markle is a desperate attempt to convince us that she is this hard-working so-and-so when we just...
Meghan's approach was the opposite, creating artificial scarcity to mask uncertain demand, and the market exposed this strategy faster than anyone expected. This is why the gift basket gambit was so revealing. When your organic audience isn't large enough to sustain your business, you start looking for shortcuts to bigger audiences. But the Kardashians built their customer base through years of consistent content, product development, and audience engagement.
Post on Threads this weekend. He wrote, "Couldn't be more proud of you, Meghan." Love Meghan. Yay, team as ever official on Netflix. And he posted...
You can't shortcut that process with luxury gift baskets and strategic PR moves. Here's something that might surprise people outside the entertainment industry. Hollywood doesn't care about your titles, your lineage, or your ceremonial importance. The only currency that matters is influence, and influence is measured in very specific ways.
With the quote, Brittany, that says, "The soil resists, the storms may roar, yet still we..."
How many people follow your social media? How often do your posts go viral organically? When brands partner with you, do sales actually increase? Can you get people to watch, buy, or care about something just by recommending it? These are the metrics that determine your value in the modern entertainment economy. And by these standards, Meghan's royal title is essentially meaningless.
The seeds of efforts always grow, the sweetest taste, the richest prize is born from work beneath skies. So she's toiling away.
She might still be the Duchess of Sussex on paper, but in Hollywood terms, she's competing with 20-year-old TikTok creators who can drive more sales with a 15-second video than she can with a carefully crafted product launch. This isn't about dismissing her achievements or her intelligence. It's about understanding how power structures work in different environments. Royal influence operates through institutional respect and protocol.
Brittany, but the only problem is he had to go back months and months and months to get that photo of her putting together quite a lazy story.
Hollywood influence operates through audience engagement and commercial results. The Kardashians can ignore Meghan specifically because they don't need institutional validation. They've built their own institutions. Their social media followings exceed the populations of most countries. Their business empires generate more revenue than many royal foundations. When you look at it from this perspective, the gift basket strategy seems even more misguided.
Oh, 100%. I remember seeing that Nancy reposted that, and I saw it before, and I remember thinking...
It's like trying to use foreign currency in a market that only accepts local payments. Meghan thought her royal credentials would open Hollywood doors, but she discovered that those credentials have actually depreciated in value since leaving the royal family. She no longer has the institutional backing that gave her title meaning, and she hasn't built the commercial influence that creates Hollywood power.
I'm like, what is it? What was it supposed to be? And it goes to show for Meghan, like, despite her claims to the contrary, that she's putting so much effort into this, so much love and joy and whatever.
There's another crucial element to this story that reveals why Meghan's brand struggles while the Kardashians thrive: content creation consistency. Successful lifestyle brands today require constant content generation. Daily social media posts, behind-the-scenes content, product tutorials, personal stories that create emotional connections with audiences.
Any of hers, but this grand vision they're always trying to proclaim about Meghan and how great.
The Kardashians have mastered this approach, turning their entire lives into content that drives business results. Meghan's approach is sporadic and event-driven. She disappears from public view for weeks or months, then resurfaces with a new project expecting the same level of attention she had at launch. But audience attention doesn't work that way in the digital age.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's farcical, it's delusional, and I think this weekend especially has shown that there is limits to the level of interest.
Social media algorithms reward consistency. Audiences forget about brands that don't maintain regular engagement. Competitors fill the space you leave empty when you're not actively creating content. The Kardashians understand that staying relevant requires treating content creation like a full-time job. Whether it's a casual coffee run, a workout routine, or a product unboxing, everything becomes content that keeps their brands in front of audiences daily.
And it's not generating sales like it should. And I'm sure behind the scenes, Meghan's probably freaking out just a little bit.
Meghan seems to approach content creation like traditional celebrity appearances: scheduled, planned, and infrequent. But this model doesn't work in an era where influence depends on constant audience engagement. This content gap helps explain why her brand launches generate initial interest, but fail to maintain momentum. Without regular content that keeps her products and brand in front of potential customers, the excitement fades quickly.
Posted that actually it looks like the relaunch of As Ever has been a disaster. Look at this. It's been almost 100 hours.
It also explains why the Kardashians wouldn't see value in promoting her products. They've built audiences that expect regular, authentic product recommendations. Promoting something from someone who isn't actively engaging her own audience doesn't align with their content strategy. Let's examine what the gift basket strategy reveals about Meghan's understanding of Hollywood networking.
Actually, a flop. She may have tripled her inventory, but it's rather clear that interest has cratered. If the interest was the same as the first launch, she should have sold out in around 3.
Because this misstep exposes a fundamental miscalculation about how relationships work in the entertainment industry. Effective Hollywood networking is about mutual benefit and authentic connection building. The most successful partnerships happen when both parties bring value to the table and can enhance each other's brands or projects.
So why, again, smart business owners avoid the scarcity tactic. It's a neon light to the public and investors when the product is no longer selling out. The magic can only last for so long, and Meghan's seeing the limits. So Brittany, what do we...
Meghan's approach was essentially, here's a gift, please make me relevant. That's not networking, that's petitioning. And the difference matters enormously in how it's received. Consider how the Kardashians typically form new relationships. They collaborate with people who can offer them something valuable: new business opportunities, creative partnerships, access to different audiences, or enhanced credibility in specific areas. What could Meghan offer them?
This wine.
So it's obviously very murky because Meghan Markle doesn't want to be super clear, but in a Harper's Bazaar piece, we were told that in the first 10 minutes, 10,000.
Her royal connections are now mostly ceremonial. Her audience is smaller and less engaged than theirs. Her business ventures haven't demonstrated the kind of success that would make partnership attractive. From the Kardashian perspective, promoting Meghan's brand would be doing her a favor without receiving equivalent value in return. That's not how professional relationships work at their level. Successful celebrity collaborations feel organic because they're based on genuine mutual interest and benefit.
At the very least, that means just 3,000 customers because every customer has to buy 3. We also saw that she had a 20%.
When someone is clearly benefiting more than the other party, it becomes obvious to audiences and damages the credibility of both brands. The silence from the Kardashians wasn't cruel. It was professional. They recognized that this particular collaboration wouldn't serve their business interests, or enhance their brand value. This reveals something important about Meghan's current position in Hollywood. She's operating from a place of need rather than strength.
That's on the very low end of average. The average is usually 20 to 40, with 30 being good, 40 being great, and 50 being,
And in an industry built on power dynamics, that positioning makes effective partnerships extremely difficult to establish. There's a reason why some celebrity brands become billion-dollar empires, while others fade into obscurity within months. The successful ones understand that brand building is about much more than celebrity attachment and premium packaging. Strong brands create emotional connections with their customers. They solve genuine problems or fulfill real desires. They maintain consistent quality and messaging.
Customer is actually very low. People have to buy either 3, 6, or 12 packs. A lot of people bought 6 and 12 packs. So you could actually...
They build communities around shared values and experiences. Look at how the Kardashians built their various brands. Kim's shapewear line succeeded because it addressed real fit and comfort issues that women were experiencing. Kylie's lip products launched during a cultural moment when bold lip looks were trending. Each product line connected with audiences on a level beyond just celebrity endorsement.
And then what's interesting is they say they tripled their inventory and they sold 50% more of the products within the first day than they did the last time. But last time they sold out completely. This time they could only sell 50%. And so then you have the rest of the 50%, which is not moving. I haven't checked it today, but the product is not selling out. And that's what
Meghan's brand approach seems to focus more on the lifestyle aspiration she represents than on the actual value her products provide. The marketing emphasizes exclusivity and sophistication, but doesn't clearly communicate why customers should choose her products over established alternatives. This is particularly problematic in the crowded lifestyle brand space. Customers have endless options, and celebrity names alone aren't enough to drive repeat purchases. Products need to deliver exceptional experiences that justify their premium pricing.
Telling us on Instagram, hey, make sure you buy this before it sells out. Make sure you get yours. And obviously we're not moving away from that. So if it's still for sale, then
the Kardashians wouldn't promote products that don't meet their quality standards because their audiences trust our recommendations. That trust is built over years of consistent product curation and honest feedback. Without that foundation of trust and proven product value, even a Kardashian endorsement couldn't save a struggling brand. And that might be another reason why they chose not to engage with Meghan's products publicly. Here's something crucial that often gets overlooked in discussions about celebrity brand failures.
And of course, the scarcity tactic which Meghan has employed this entire time was always going to hit its limit. And apparently, people didn't like the wine and they didn't want to reorder or...
Timing and cultural relevance matter enormously in determining success. The Kardashians built their empire during the perfect cultural moment for their type of influence. Social media was exploding, reality TV was dominating entertainment, and audiences were hungry for accessible celebrity content. They rode that wave and adapted as digital platforms evolved. Meghan's brand launch is happening during a very different cultural moment. Audiences are increasingly skeptical of celebrity cash grabs. They're more interested in authenticity and genuine expertise than in aspirational lifestyle marketing. They want to support brands with clear values and social impact.
Inconsistent product launches. Some people were like, hey, I still have your old 2023 wine. It was okay. I'm not going to buy more. So this should be a glaring warning flag.
This shift in consumer preferences makes traditional celebrity lifestyle branding much more challenging. Success requires either exceptional product quality, genuine expertise in the category, or authentic connection to social causes that matter to target audiences. Meghan could potentially leverage her advocacy background and social justice interests to build a brand with deeper cultural significance. But her current approach seems to ignore these strengths in favor of generic luxury positioning.
All-in-one shampoo and his shaving foam and his razor. Well, listen, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We ought to do that, Kinsey. What about Meghan Markle? How's her business empire?
The Kardashians understand cultural moments intuitively. They adapt their content, products, and messaging to match what audiences want in real time. This agility has allowed them to maintain relevance through multiple technological and cultural shifts. Meghan's approach feels static by comparison. She's using strategies that might have worked 5 years ago, but don't align with current consumer expectations or cultural trends. This cultural misalignment makes collaboration with the Kardashians even less likely.
There's a new story coming from the Daily Mail that says she has struggled to find a CEO for American Riviera Orchard, and they said that there are interesting discussions happening between Netflix.
They're extremely sensitive to cultural momentum and wouldn't want to associate with approaches that feel outdated or inauthentic to their audiences. The harsh truth about modern influence is that it's not inherited, transferred, or assumed. It's earned daily through consistent audience engagement and value creation. Meghan seems to operate under the assumption that her past prominence translates directly into current influence.
Somebody from Netflix has said, well, I've got a weird idea. What if we help you manage not only...
But influence in the digital age has an extremely short half-life. Without constant nurturing and audience engagement, it degrades rapidly. The Kardashians maintain their influence through relentless content creation, audience interaction, and business innovation. They've never assumed that past success guarantees future relevance. Every day, they're working to maintain and grow their audience engagement. This fundamental misunderstanding about how influence works might be Meghan's biggest strategic error.
But hand in hand, your lifestyle production, the products that could come out associated, whether that is jam.
She's approaching brand building like someone who believes their audience will wait indefinitely for their next move. But digital audiences don't wait. They move on to creators and brands that provide consistent value and engagement. The competition for attention is fierce, and absent voices are quickly forgotten. This is why sporadic product launches and infrequent public appearances can't sustain a modern lifestyle brand. Without constant audience cultivation, each new project starts from a disadvantaged position.
Daily Mail has framed this as failure, but I think that this is a total win for Meghan Markle because Netflix has never done this before.
The Kardashians recognize this reality, which is why they prioritize consistent audience engagement over traditional celebrity mystique. They'd rather be oversaturated in media than forgotten. Meghan's approach prioritizes exclusivity and scarcity, but in an attention economy, scarcity can easily become irrelevance. So here we are, watching a former royal family member refresh Instagram, hoping for validation from reality TV stars.
Meghan gets to point the finger at Netflix and say, this didn't fail because of me, it failed because I put some people in charge that did.
It's a fall from grace so dramatic it would seem unbelievable if it weren't happening in real time. The gift basket incident isn't just about a failed PR strategy. It's a perfect encapsulation of what happens when someone mistakes past prestige for current influence. When royal protocol meets Hollywood power dynamics. When calculated moves backfire spectacularly. Meghan Markle once had the kind of platform that most people couldn't imagine. Global reach, institutional backing, the ability to shape conversations on the world's biggest stage.
Have you tried Meghan's jam?
This is a family show, Mark.
She traded all of that for a chance to compete in the influencer economy, and she's discovering that this game has very different rules. The Kardashians built their empire from nothing, creating influence through sheer consistency and business acumen. Meghan started with everything and is watching it slip away, one untagged Instagram story at a time. The silence from the Kardashians isn't cruelty, it's indifference. And in a town where attention is currency, indifference is the cruelest fate of all.
No, I haven't. I have not.
You have the mind of a sewer,
shocker.
Kinsey Schofield. This is another of the brands, one of the products that she's got. And I understand she sent it to a celebrity.
What makes this story so compelling isn't just the celebrity drama. It's what it reveals about power, influence, and relevance in our current cultural moment. Traditional sources of authority and prestige don't automatically translate into digital age influence. That has to be built ground up, one authentic connection at a time. Meghan gambled that her royal title would open Hollywood doors, but she's learning that in this town, yesterday's headlines are tomorrow's forgotten stories. The Kardashians know this better than anyone, which is why they've never stopped working to maintain their relevance. Right now, Meghan isn't just competing with other celebrity brands, she's competing with the memory of who she used to be. And that might be the most difficult competition of all. The gift basket may be forgotten, but But the lesson it teaches about Hollywood hierarchies, influence economics, and the price of desperation will resonate far beyond this particular embarrassment. In Hollywood, status isn't inherited, it's earned daily. And right now, Meghan Markle is learning that lesson the hard way.